What's up YouTube, HarpieHero here, and I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Gishki deck. It's a fun deck to play if you're just looking for a little mess around deck. So to start off, we have the 3 copies of Gishki Shadow. Gishki Shadow you discard to the graveyard, you just discard it and you can add a Gishki Ritual spell card to your hand. And he can count as the full ritual cost of any water monster, which is what the Gishkis are. And to go with Gishki Shadow, you want to have 3 Gishki Vision. He also has the same effect, but he has a similar effect of you can discard him, and you can add forth a ritual monster to your hand, not the spell. But he also can count as the full ritual summon for a ritual water monster. So you gotta run these 6. They're mandatory in every Gishki deck. Next, 2 Gishki Abyss. Gishki Abyss is whenever he's summoned, you can add 1 Gishki monster with 1,000 defense or less from your deck to your hand, except for Gishki Abyss. So he helps with hand advantage, and he also is just a way to search out Gishki Vision or a Gishki Shadow, because they both have 1,000 defense or less. It's just a quick add. You can really, I only run 2 of him because he's pretty weak. Next up, 3 Gishki Beasts. He is very versatile in his playstyle because when you normal summon him, you can target 1 level 4 lower Gishki in your graveyard, and especially when in face-up defense position. So you can go for an Exe or a Ritual, and you can also go Beast into Beast. It won't bring out you won't be able to get another summon, but it does open up Exes, Rituals, whatever you need. So you want to run 3 of him. Next, one of my techs is I like running 2 Gishki Chains. Gishki Chain is a fun little tech. He's 1800 attack. When you normal summon him, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add either a ritual spell card or a ritual monster, and return the others to the top deck of your choice. So he combos quite well with one of the rituals, which I'll get into later, because you'll be able to manipulate the top 3 cards, and you can also just get a little more hand advantage with him. So I tech in 2 of him. One of my other techs is 3 Gishki Ariel. She's a flip effect Gishki where you can just add any Gishki monster to your hand. So she doesn't have any restrictions on who she can add, so you can set an Ariel, flip, add it to another Ariel, flip, add it to another Ariel, if you really want to. But she's just really good in that aspect, as she doesn't have a restriction, whereas Abyss has a restriction of what you can add. Like, you wouldn't be able to add Ariel because she's 1800 defense, and that's also another reason why she's pretty good. If you get ran into by a weak monster that just pokes it, then you're fine. And my last and final effect monster that's not the ritual that I decided to attack in is Gishki Natalia. When she's normal summon or flipped face up, you can target 1 Gishki monster in your graveyard and return that card to the top of your deck. And that actually affects really well with like Shadow, Vision, Beast, or Abyss if you really need to. It just really helps recycle them through the deck. And she also combos very well with this ritual monster, which also combos really well with Chain. Gishki Zeal Gigas, he is your main beat stick of the deck, as one would say. He is 300 attack, and you can pay 1,000 life points to draw a card. And if it's a ritual monster, you can return 1 card in the field to the top of the deck, or shuffle into your opponent's deck. So that's why I run Natalia. She just puts a Gishki monster to the top of the deck, use Zeal Gigas. Like, you can just remove cards from the field. So that's Zeal Gigas. He's a really good shenanigans. Next, I run 2 Evigishki Soul Ogres. Evigishki Soul Ogre is really good. You just discard any Gishki monster, and you can return 1 face-up card to the field to the deck and just shuffle it in, or it's one of your opponents. And Zeal Gigas doesn't. He can also, if you get his, you have to return 1 face-up card you control, or anywhere on the field. 1 card in the field for Zeal Gigas. But he targets your opponents, any face-up, just discard a Gishki and shuffle that into the deck. And some monster. Nope, just 1 face-up card. And my last ritual I run is Evigishki Gustkraken, and this is the final monster as well. It's only at 1 right now, but it wouldn't break the game if it goes to 2. When it's ritual summoned, you can look at 2 random cards in your opponent's hand and return 1 of them to the deck. So that's not that bad. It's 2400 attack, so a lot of things can get over it. It's level 6. It just opens up plays if you need them as well. And that rounds up the monsters. For spells, here's your card that you want to run of, is Gishki Aquamere. If there is a ritual monster in the grave and this in the grave, you can return this to the deck and return the ritual monster to your hand. It can be used for any Gishki ritual, and that's why everyone runs 3 of them. I think all Gishki rituals can do it, but this one's the best out of all of them. Next up for spell cards, triple salvage. Salvage, you just add 1500 attack or less water monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is a lot of the Gishki deck, so it helps you recycle quite a lot. Next, to surface. Surface allows you to special summon either Abyss or Vision back to the field. Vision would still be able to use as a ritual monster, the full ritual summon, and Abyss would get its effect off because it is summoned. So that's why you run on 2 of those. Next, kind of staples, 2 MST, Heavy, Reborn, Dark Hole, and Avarice. That's pretty much it for the spells, kind of normal spells. And for traps, I only run 4. I run 2 Compulses for field removal of monsters, and I run 2 Torrentials for field removal, depending on what you're playing. And now to go into the extra deck. Since you do run 3 level 10s, and this is one of my favorite cards, you gotta run Super Dreadnought Rail, Cannon Gustav Max. Fun way to OTK with him. You just attack twice with 2 Gishki Zeo Gigai, and then you just detach from him, and if they don't get Veiler, then you win. So I run 1 of him. And since I run 2 level 8s, I was decided, just might as well put this in. I've actually made him and got use of him. Is the Heretic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Just tributes monsters from hand or field, whatever you need to get rid of, and you can also salvage to bring stuff back. He will allow you for a little more field removal, just because he removes cards from the field. And that's really it for that. Because Gishki Beast is really good for just summons of Exes and all that, I run like Utopia, because it's kind of staple now. I have 2 Gemini Pearls in here, Cowboy, Maestroke, Roach. These are all kind of like staples now, kind of, except for, I see that's not the Cowboy. Abyss Dweller, just kind of stop E-Drags, and Abyss Dweller gives 500 attack when at least 1 of your original exit materials are water. Kachikochi, because Kachikochi is funny as hell. He just destroys monster by battle. You can detach and attack again in a row. So if you destroy like a, I don't know, say they reborn one of your Gishkis and you just attack over it, you can attack again. And then because I run 5 level 2s, I run 1 Gachi, just because it's Gachi, you gotta run Gachi. And then since I do steal people's tuners, I run some Synchros, kind of staple, Scrap, Stardust, Black Rose, and Catastor. It opens just for plays whatever I need to go for, so it doesn't really hurt me. And that is the Gishki deck. Let me know what you guys think of it. It's a fun deck. It does OTK a lot. It's just for shenanigans. Thanks guys, it's HarpieHero, signing out.